Hi, inside the Farish House Bistro and Wine Bar in downtown Phoenix. I'm Richard Rellis here with columnist Bob Robb. Subpoenas from Congress are being ignored. The Attorney General of the United States has been held in contempt. The Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, has called this a constitutional crisis. Not to give away the last line of your column, but you don't think it's quite a constitutional crisis.
It's not a constitutional crisis until the courts weigh in and decide one way or the other, and whoever is found against defies it. To me, it's more of a constitutional clown act. The key to making sense of this unquestionable political war that has broken out is to keep in mind that Congress is not a law enforcement agency. And with that insight, you can kind of shift through all the various back and forth that's occurring and say, you know, really this is kind of Congress running amok using subpoenas to do opposition research.
And to focus in on one, Barr has been held in contempt. Boy, Obama's Attorney General was also held under contempt. But you say that he's being held in contempt for something that he legally cannot do, which is hand over an unredacted Mueller report.
Yes, I mean, this is a good example of the confusion of roles. Mueller was appointed as a special prosecutor to exercise executive branch judgment about whether to charge people with crimes. He wasn't conducting an investigation on behalf of Congress, and his report to Barr was confidential. Barr decides to issue a redacted version. Congress subpoenas for the unredacted version. Barr can't comply with that without breaking the law, requiring him to protect the secrecy of grand jury proceedings. It is true that Barr could go to the court and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and make this public? But there's nothing in law that requires him to do that. So Congress is holding him in contempt, either A, for not doing something illegal, or B, not doing something they don't have the power to order him to do.
Do you think they've consciously thought this out? Do you think they know this is the case, or is this just possible?
I don't think they have understood how, when you have sort of a dispassionate analysis, how silly that particular action lies. But I do think more broadly they have thought it out. They know that the American people are currently solidly against impeachment. That would justify a lot of what they're seeking. But instead, they are overstepping their boundaries in their investigative authority, supposedly for legislative purposes, to try to yield damaging or embarrassing material, which you know will promptly leak. As part of a strategy to either make Trump easier to defeat in 2020 or make the American people more receptive to impeachment.
That's right, there's an election coming up next year. I always forget.